Hello, it's Eclipse is back again. In this video, I wanted to talk about Chandler Riggs and Carl and why I started to not like the show as much as before. And I still watch it, but as a casual watcher. Before that, I used to buy everything. I used to buy the comic books. I still want the comic books though, because that's like the final thing I really want. But I just didn't want to buy all the stuff and all that, and it's more because of money wise with Walking Dead. And I found the clip on Chandler Riggs talking about why he was leaving the show and how it happened. And first, I'm gonna show the video and then talk about some things about it, and then I might be talking more about it in another video.
For episode 6 of season 8, and in one of the scenes, Carl and Sadiq are like fighting some walkers, and then Carl gets knocked down, and we were rehearsing the choreography for that scene, and I was like, it said specifically in the script that like Carl is shaken by like the encounter or something, and I stand up and I'm all shaky when I talk to Sadiq. And so I asked the guy that was playing Sadiq, I was like, hey man, so why do you think that I act all like weird when I stand up here? And he was like, I have no idea. It's like my 4th day here, dude. I don't know. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'll just ask the writer, because he's right over here. I'm like, hey man, so why am I acting all weird when I stand back up? And he just kind of shrugged. And after that, I had a meeting with Scott Gimple, the guy who was the showrunner at the time and is now the showrunner of like all the shows. And that's when he told me that Carl wasn't going to be on the show anymore. And I was like, that's unfortunate, because I just bought a house next to the set. Yeah, so it was pretty unfortunate, but it ended up being fine. Like other cast members rented out the house, so it was fine. But yeah, I was pretty. There were a couple weeks there where it was rough, because the thing was with that I had got accepted into UGA, University of Georgia, and I was like, nice, I got my major, I got my dorm, I got my classes, this is going to be awesome. Like the next 4 years of my life, I just updated my contract for the next few years, and then, yeah, that was...
Okay, so that was the clip. Those clips are in other places too, and at Comic Con and all that. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was Rick wanting to leave the show. Rick wants to leave the show, well, Andrew Lincoln wanted to leave the show back in season 5. Because he wants to see his kids in the UK. And even, I saw in the behind the scenes that he said 8's a good number. And he was talking about being up to season 8. And yet that's the season that they killed off Carl. Only because Carl, like his actor, was turning 18. And yet, either way, Rick left the very next season. In season 9. They could have just did what they were doing with the comic books. Because in the comic books, Rick died and Carl took over. That would be 2 people in that legal adult pay. So if they wanted to pay someone less, that would have been Rick leaving and Carl being the lead. Just like how it started. Just like in the comic books, Carl is like the next one in charge after Rick. And then the other thing is what he just said in the video, that he got an apartment down the block near set. And the things that they never even told him, most of the time you write a character's death and they know a season before it even happens, just like with Lori. There's like so many ones. Andrea, there's like you can keep going, but yet Carl, he had no idea. Chandler Riggs. It was in the middle of the season. It wasn't even done filming yet. And his character was stunned on what happened, and he was asking everyone like, why was he acting this way? He even asked the writer, and they just shrugged. That they never even told him why. And yet later on, which the script was already made, but yet they just added this in. Seems like last minute, because it was in the middle of the scene, the middle of shooting. and they were telling him that he was gonna be killed off because money. He was literally turning 18 at that time too, so that kind of equaled to the amount of what was happening. But yeah, like I mean, like he didn't even know that his cat was gonna get killed off. It wasn't even on the script. And don't they get scripts for like a few episodes? That's that's what happened with Glenn's death, Abraham. Um, just so many. Jesus' death, Beth's death. They all like get scripts like a few weeks ahead of time for episodes, and yet Chandler Riggs never got a script. It just happened out of nowhere. That's yeah, that's basically it. It's just I feel like they did this for money, and then not just this. There's not the reason why, like fully. There's the Walking Dead on Destinies, and it was like a $50 game, something like that, 50, 40. And the game was basically pictures. Yeah, it was a choose an adventure game, but it didn't like I mean, Telltale was a real game, and they did it cheaper. Telltale was an actual game that you played through the character, you made choices and all that. Everything was moving, and it was in like comic book style, and it was all good. But yet the games were only $15 and $25. Yet the Walking Dead Destinies were just pictures. It was not moving, and it was $40. I just didn't really get the what it, what the difference was. Telltale Games was a really good game. Season 3 had some choices, things that weren't really that good. It was still a good game. It was just some choices that didn't matter. That didn't really change anything. It's still a good game. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I still watch the show, but that's pretty much it. But yeah.